So today I want to talk to you about the correlation between being busy and socializing, and why you need to kind of understand this, especially if you're not a natural person at socializing. So yeah, keep watching, keep listening, hope you find it useful. Welcome back to consecutive day 1656 of a diary of a runpreneur. Today's topic is all about the correlation between being busy and being social, and why it's important that you understand this. So before we kick off, please remember that this is part of a fundraiser to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style. So do give this some engagement. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. So back to the topic at question. So we're into the kind of rundown to Christmas, December. So and the kind of issue that I face at the moment is that this is a notoriously busy time of the year for me, especially as so many of our kind of power team, if you like, or service providers shut down for the Christmas break, and it kind of slows everything down for the 2 weeks over Christmas. So we are always frantically scrambling around to get everything kind of done and dusted prior to the Christmas break, so we can all try and enjoy a peaceful and relaxful one with our families. The other thing that happens around this time of the year is that you get loads of social events that you're invited to, and I should be, first and foremost, I'm incredibly grateful to be invited to them, because it's important in an area of your life, the social area of life, to kind of, we're humans, we herd creatures, we like to have people around us. But I really struggle with, especially when I'm busy, to want to be social. And I don't know whether that's just me, and whether that's kind of linked to kind of my ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, if you didn't know what it means. Because when I get busy, I go into hyperfocus mode, which is when I go really deep, focused energy all goes towards the task at hand, and I often neglect everything else around me, including kind of the social side of my life, especially when kind of socializing is generally quite a low area. So yeah, especially when the social area of my life is probably one of my lowest value areas, but it's an area I know I need. So the problem I have is that when somebody struggles with ADHD and they hyperfocus, they use up all of their kind of mental energy in that given task or project that they're so desperately working on to solve. And what then happens is, then come the end of the day, when you may be planning on socializing with friends or family, you're so mentally fatigued and depleted that you then don't want to socialize, and then can kind of evolve into kind of social anxiety, which a lot of people with ADHD struggle with, including myself. I kind of feel like that today. I've got a kind of a curry night with some friends from the kind of football club, the local community football club, and it will be a lovely night, it'll be good. But you know, when you're just so mentally frazzled, the last thing you want to do is then focus on small talk and kind of socializing around a kind of a dinner environment. But I'm going to go. I've kind of neglected social activities enough this month so far because of work, and I shouldn't. I need to kind of try and make some prioritization in my life to kind of make sure that I don't kind of extract myself too much from social situations, because then what starts as something like, oh, I don't feel like going tonight, it turns into a habit, and then you end up pulling out of more and more social events, and then you start becoming more introverted, and it can kind of escalate from there into kind of depression, anxiety, all these types of things with mental health. And socializing is often incredibly beneficial to your mental health and well-being. So being aware of this is really important, to the extent that I really don't want to go tonight, but I'm going to go, because I know deep down that when I go, I'll enjoy it, and I know that it'll be good for me, and it'll probably put me in a good mood, and it might recharge my batteries to a certain degree, just having, you know, light-hearted small talk over a curry and a few drinks. So the learnings from my diary today is, it's important to understand the correlation between being busy and wanting to be social. And it's especially relevant if you're someone who has tendencies of or struggles with ADHD, like I do myself, but it also is probably relevant to a lot of people who aren't natural extroverts. And what I described in today's episode was about, when you're incredibly busy, whether it's work or life or whatever, sometimes it just uses up all of your mental energy, so that the last thing you want to do after all that is socialise with family and friends, where you kind of feel that you have to be on point and on form, all social or happy or fun loving, when you might feel the polar opposite. But as I describe in the episode, it's really important to try and not fall into the trap of always being too busy to socialise. On odd occasions it's fine, but the social area of life is a really important one. We are human beings and we're herd creatures. We like to have relationships with other people, whether that's friends, families, networks, whatever that may be. And it's important that we try and ensure that part of our life is there, where it's so easy to just kind of neglect, especially when either times are hard or we're too busy, we're too stressed, whatever. I think it's really important to try and make that effort, because if you don't, you can end up kind of falling into the trap of becoming unsociable, and it becomes a habit. You then become more introverted, you then become more of a kind of a loner scenario, and along with that can come depression, anxiety, and all the kind of negative mental health emotions that we want to steer clear of, especially around the Christmas season in particular, but any time in the year we want to avoid those. So being aware of the correlation between being busy and being social is important to understand that continuum, and try and get the balance, and sometimes just push yourself to be comfortable being uncomfortable and go out, be social. And you know what, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 it will give you a positive lift rather than have an adverse effect on your mental well-being that you may feel it would before you actually go. So anyway, hope that's useful. Any questions or comments, drop me a line. I will respond to everyone. Do remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of a lap of the world, barefoot style, do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, and the more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.